Hello friends, Emma here. Thanks so much for joining me for another yoga class. Welcome to my channel. If you're new or if you're a returning student, thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead, hit the full screen so you can see this a little easier, and we'll get started on our backs today. Lie down on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together, knees out wide and hands on your belly. If you would like some blocks underneath your thighs, or if this doesn't feel good, feel free to grab more of a knock knee shape, letting the knees fall in towards each other. Kind of wiggle your skull back, so there's a little tuck of your chin, just feel the back of your neck lengthen. Your breath shouldn't be restricted, but we don't want a huge arch in the cervical spine. With the hands on the belly, you can really start to focus on how deeply you're breathing. So think about breathing all the way into your hands. You should feel the ribs, the belly inflate like a balloon, and then exhale, kind of feel the belly and the ribs fall, sink. We'll do that again, breathe in deep. Exhale, complete. 2 more, inhale. Through the mouth, exhale. Again. Start to seal your lips. Begin transferring your breath in and out through your nose. Make a little sound with your breath. Let's take the arms out wide. Drop your left knee over to meet your right knee, and then we'll just start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. So moving both at the same time now. Next time the knees are over to the right, we'll pause there. Option to place the right foot on top of the left thigh into kind of an awkward twist. Instead of just forcing the left knee down, think about the left kneecap going forwards. If this doesn't feel good on your left knee, definitely skip it. Keep your left shoulder blade sinking into the ground. We'll keep the right ankle over the left thigh if it's there. Bring this back through center. Bring the outer left thigh to the ground and let your right foot stamp onto the mat. So the right knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. Now look off to the right ear heavy to the ground. So right foot is flat, right knee pushing forward. You should feel a little stretch in the outer hip. I like to flex the left foot just to feel a little more action in this shape. Last 2. And 1. Bring this back through center. Slide your right leg over your left leg. Grab your shins or ankles. Supta Gomukhasana. Flex your feet. Pull your feet away from each other. Feel free to rock a little bit side to side here. Great, unwind that. Grab a really gentle, happy baby. So if you're pretty flexible, you might be able to reach the feet right away. Otherwise, ankles or backs of the knees is good. Again, try to minimize the arch in your neck by pulling your chin down, pull your tailbone down. In your happy baby, bring your bottoms of your feet together, push the knees out wide. And then keeping the feet together, you'll let those fall to the ground, back into Supta Baddha Konasana with the hands to the belly. Keep your lips sealed, breathe through your nose. We'll take the arms out wide, drop your right knee over to meet your left knee, and then just start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. The next time the knees are over to the left, pause there. Option to place your left foot on top of your right thigh. Don't just force the right knee down. Think about pushing it forward. Right shoulder blade heavy. Let the ribs soften down. Keep your left ankle over your right thigh. Bring this through center. Let the outer right thigh fall to the ground. So your left foot steps onto the mat. Left foot is flat. Outer right thigh is down. I like to flex the right foot. Think about pushing your left knee forward away from you. And then try to look off to the left. We'll bring this back through center, left leg wrapped on top of right, Supta Gomukhasana. Grab your ankles or shins. An alternative to this would always be a figure 4 if you can't quite reach, especially so early on in practice. Relax your jaw. All right, we'll release that. Grab another happy baby pose. Maybe finding a little more space, more ease this time. If you're ready for it, you could straighten one leg at a time. We'll go ahead and bring the knees together. Grab the backs of your legs. Start to rock up and down your spine 3 or 4 times. On that last one, use some momentum, grab a standing forward fold. Step your feet out pretty wide, the width of your mat, bend your knees at least a little bit, and then just kind of shifting your weight forwards and backwards. You can keep your hands on the mat here. As you shift your weight back, you probably feel a little bit more. As you shift your weight forward, you kind of have to squeeze your quadriceps to stop you. Let's walk the hands over to the right with a little bend in the right knee. Take your left hand and grab your right foot or ankle. You're gonna bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, and reach your right arm up to twist. So the left hand's kind of pushing into the top of the right foot. Draw your left hip back, lengthen your sides. And you'll take your right arm down, grab your outer left ankle or foot, so the arms are crossed. Pull the ankles in, relax your neck. So the left arm is on the bottom here. You're gonna take eagle arms, turn your toes out, and find like a half yogi squat. So you're pushing the knees out. It's kind of an active squat. Feel free to shift a little bit side to side. Breathe for 3. Push your low back in, lift your sternum 2. And 1, fold forward, unwind your arms, toes in. Walk your hands off to the left with a little bend in your left knee. Right hand to the top of the left foot or ankle. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee. Start to reach your left arm up. You want to lean your torso a little bit to the right. Try to level off your pelvis. We'll take that left arm, left hand, grab the right ankle or foot. Pull the ankles in. So it's almost like the elbows are going away from each other as much as possible. Tip your weight forward. Right arm is on the bottom. You're gonna take eagle arms once again. Turn your toes out and find like a half active yogi squat. Push the knees outwards in the direction of the toes. Low back in. Feel the outer seams of the hips draw back for 3, 2, and 1. Fold forward, release your arms. Wiggle your feet in about hip distance. We'll lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up to stand. Reach both arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Half wrap your right arm behind your back. So your right forearm is at the lumbar spine. This just helps to make sure you're not really arching into your low back. Push your left hip into your right hand. Inhale, come back to center, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Half wrap your left arm behind your back. You're squeezing your glutes, scooping your tailbone down. Push your right hip into your left hand. Inhale, back to center, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive over your legs. Halfway lift, take a breath in. Plant your hands, step back right foot, then left foot to plank pose. Keep your hips in line with your shoulders and then just move your weight around a little bit. Could be shifting forwards, backwards, circling the shoulders over the wrists. Just start to feel into your finger pads here. Wake up your wrists. Squeeze your low belly. We'll shift forward, lower all the way down, hug your elbows in, go slow for 3, 2, and 1. All the way down here. Let's take the hands out, 10 and 2, bridge up onto your fingertips. On an inhale, roll your chest up like a wave. As you exhale, drop your right shoulder to the center of your mat, look over your left elbow. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop your left shoulder to the center of your mat, look over your right elbow. Inhale, back to center. One more, right shoulder drops, look over left elbow. Inhale, center. Left shoulder drops, look over right elbow. Inhale, center. Lower yourself all the way down. Plant your palms in line with your ribs. At this time, push into your hands and roll up to cobra pose. Feel space across your chest and your shoulder blades. Feel the inner thighs rolling down. Little squeeze of the glutes, not a lot. Look back over your right shoulder, bend your left knee. Feel a stretch on your left side waist. Straighten your left leg, look over your left shoulder, bend your right knee. Feel a stretch on your right side waist. Straighten your right leg, come back through center, child's pose. Knees wide or knees together. Push down into your palms, feel your forearms lift. Hollow out your armpits, draw your navel up and in, and then think about breathing into the sides. Ribs expanding outwards. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Bend and straighten one leg at a time. If you need a little extra calf, hamstring warm up. When you're ready, the legs will go as straight as possible. You can always keep a bend in the knees. Heels are sinking towards the ground, but they don't have to touch. So these are all directional cues. Think less about making it look perfect. Just showing up as you are is the most important part. Find your breath. Relax your neck, head heavy. Breathe with sound, with purpose. Let's lift the heels up, squeeze calf muscles, squeeze your quadriceps. Bend your knees, push your belly onto your thighs. Lift your outer hips and lengthen through your waist. Look forward, roll yourself forward to a plank pose, and then drop your knees. Lower your chest and chin to the ground, send your elbows back. Inhale, cobra pose, lift your chest. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time with or without the knees. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward and roll it forward to plank. With or without your knees, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open mouth. Lift your heels, look forward. Let's step forward, right foot and left foot to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, rise, reach your arms all the way up, lean back a bit here. As you exhale, fold forward, right back over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, reach your arms forward. Imagine holding a block between your hands. Plug your shoulders back and squeeze your legs. Take the arch out of your back by drawing your navel in. This should be challenging. Exhale, fold. Step back, left foot, then right foot. Shift forward with or without your knees, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. The heels touch the ground, get a little lighter in your toes. Push your thigh bones back. Lift your heels, look forward, step left foot, right foot to the front, halfway lift, inhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach up, lean back a bit, and exhale, fold it forward once again. Inhale, halfway lift, reach your arms forward, plug the shoulders back. Exhale, fold, step back or jump back, lower with your exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time. Finding your breath, find some action in downward dog. Lift your heels, look forward, step or jump, front, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Lean back, exhale, fold. Halfway lift, reach arms forward. Exhale, fold, step back or jump back, Vinyasa. Follow the rhythm of your breath, there's never a rush. Lift your heels, look forward, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift, forward fold. Bend your knees, sit back, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Can you bring your knees back, shins back, take an inhale. Exhale, sweep your arms back and lift your heels up. Hug your ankle bones in, zip up your inner thighs. Slowly start to lower towards toe stand. Bring your hands to your heart. Hug the ankle bones in and squeeze your inner thighs. Now I want you to lift your hips like 1 or 2 inches off of your heels. This should make it exponentially more challenging. Draw your belly button back and breathe for 3, 2, hands down, forward fold, 1. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back or jump back, chaturanga with your exhale. Inhale up. Exhale back, take a breath in. Exhale, step your right foot forward, find warrior 1, reach both arms up. Wrap your left hip forward, lift your hip points a bit. Sweep your left arm under your right arm. You've got eagle arms or forearms together if that doesn't work out. Keep rolling your left hip forward, tugging your right hip back, inhale. Exhale, humble eagle, drop inside your right thigh. Swing your hips a little to the left. Think elbows, fingers going forward. Lighten up your right toes and get heavier through the knife edge of your left foot. Inhale up, exhale, slice the air as you take it to the back, warrior 2. Push your knees outwards away from each other. Sink your right hip as much as your left hip. Breath in, reverse. Get light in your right hand so you're not just dumping your weight backwards. That touch on the right thighs or right leg is pretty light. Lighten up your left toes. Take a breath in. Exhale, windmill to the back and twist. Right hand goes down inside your left foot. Make sure you spin onto your right toes. You'll also have to wiggle your left foot out a little bit, reach your left arm up. So the left outer hip pulls back and down, pump up your right leg more. Drop your back knee, reach both arms up to a low lunge. Interlace your hands up top, squeeze your biceps a little bit behind your ears and start to lean back. Get really heavy in your left heel and the top of your right foot. Take a breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands, tuck your back toes, and just spin your back foot flat. Rise to warrior 1 on the left side. Wrap your right hip forward. Eagle wrap your right arm under your left arm or bring your forearms together. Lift your elbows and lean back. Keep rolling your right hip forward. Exhale, humble eagle at the back of your mat. Swinging inside of your left leg, nudge your hips a little to the right. Notice your right or left toes here. If they tend to grip the mat, try to use the ball and heel of your foot more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slice the air to the front, warrior two. Feel free to adjust your feet. Reach your hands, they should be level. Flip your right palm, reverse warrior. Left hand is light on the left leg. Right toes are soft. Breath in. Windmill down and twist at the front. Left hand down, shuffle your right foot out. Reach your right arm up. Pump up your left leg and then nudge the hips a little to the left. Spread your shoulder blades. Drop your back knee, reach both arms up. Interlace your hands opposite, biceps a little behind the ears. Draw a line on the ceiling as you start to lean back. Tug your inner thighs towards each other. Avoid dumping into your low back. Squeeze, draw your belly button back. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Drop down to your knees. Bring your knees together and your feet together. Spike your toes to the mat. Take a seat back on your heels. You might move your pinky toes out of the way. If this is painful, just take regular Vajrasana, kneeling. If it's uncomfortable, that's what we want. Put your hands on your thighs, close your eyes, and breathe. Notice if you're trying to kind of shift your weight somewhere where you're gonna feel the stretch less, and just see if you can sit with the discomfort, knowing that it is temporary. Find your breath, let that be your anchor. Open your eyes, cactus your arms, your butt is still on your heels. Take your left arm underneath your right arm, eagle arms. Now you can go ahead and lift your hips. Look at the front right corner of your mat. Step your right foot in that direction. Doesn't have to be super far. Drive your right heel down. We're coming up one leg mountain pose, standing on the right leg, the left knee to chest. You still have your eagle arms. So take a moment here before doing anything else just to find your balance. Feel stable in your right leg. Then we'll wrap it up and over into eagle pose. You can put the toes down as a kickstand. Lift your triceps off your chest. Fingers to the ceiling. Think left hip back. That'll help pull the knees through center. Drop your elbows towards your top knee. Keep the arms, if possible. Slow unravel your legs. Eagle, dive your beak towards the ground. If this is not possible, take a standing split instead. Press the ball of your right foot down. I like to point the left toes, but you're trying not to open the hips to the left. So you want that outer left hip to roll down. Squeeze your low belly. Hands down, option for a handstand hop or two, leading with your left leg. If you're doing that, you're looking between the thumbs, not holding your breath, maybe starting with split legs. Last 3, 2, and 1. Crisscross your left foot behind your right foot. Walk your hands over to the right. You might even like to take the top of your right foot down here. Bend your left knee so your left shin is pushing into your right calf. You get a really nice stretch on the top of your right foot and ankle. Put your right foot flat on the ground, walk your hands back to center, take a long step back with your left foot, and open up to warrior two. Push your knees away from each other, lift your hip points. Feel this outer right hip draw back. It's okay for this left hip to wrap a little bit forward, focus more on the external rotation in your right leg. Straighten your right leg, reverse triangle. Feel free to shorten your stance. Again, lighten that left hand, squeeze your legs. We're going triangle pose. Reach forward and down, option to grab your shin, block, big toe. If you're rounding forward, walk your hand up a little higher. Squeeze your legs a lot. Scoop your right glute underneath you. Avoid this left arm just flopping back. Think about reaching, like you want to touch the ceiling, active fingers. Stay there or extend your top arm, palm down or pinky down. Bottom ribs pull in. If you want an added challenge here, squeeze your legs, float your bottom hand as well, brace your core, breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Right hand down to your shin. Take this to the back, Skandasana. Deeply bend your left knee, flex your right toes. Let's go right peace sign fingers to the big toe or right hand to the top of your shin. If you can't reach your left arm wide. So spreading the collarbones, avoid rounding your back here, push the lower back in, stamp your left heel down and push your left knee to the left in the direction of your toes. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Fold forward, wide legs. Let's go peace sign fingers to the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. You're rolling some weight to the big toe mound. Less grip with the toes. Squeeze your inner thighs. Slide your shoulder blades away from your ears. Continue to tip your weight forward for 3, 2, and 1. Release grip, halfway lift. Crawl your hands to the back of your mat, runner. Bump your right foot a little to the right, come up to a high lunge, crescent warrior. Maybe a little bend in the back knee to start. Hip points lifting. Can you bend your front knee more? Left hand, squeeze left waist. Capture your right knee or big toe out in front of you. If you've got the big toe, your leg is straight. I want you to focus more on standing up tall than grabbing the big toe. The knee is just as good. Plug your right upper arm bone back, press the ball of your left foot down. So it's like the inner thighs are pulling towards the midline. Take your right leg out to the right without hiking your right hip up higher than your left. So you want to scoop this left or right glute underneath you, just like I said in triangle pose. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Right leg center. Reach up, float your leg, 5. Upper thigh squeeze, 4. Shoulders forward, 3, 2. Step your right foot in front of your left foot, fold forward. Ankles are crossed, right in front. Walk your hands over to the right. You'll walk your hands back to center. This right foot is probably over on the left edge of the mat. Step your left foot back and take this to pigeon pose. So the right foot's already on the left side. Left leg is straight behind you. Option to drop down to the forearms. Any alternative could go Agni Stambhasana, figure 4, Gomukhasana. Just try to avoid rolling onto one hip here. You want to feel like your pelvis is level, just like I say in most poses. So instead of this right hip rolling all the way forward, think right hip back, left hip going forward. 3, 2, and 1. Walk up onto your hands, tuck your left toes. Begin to float your right knee into your chest. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Place your right foot at your inner left thigh for Vashisthasana. If you would like more of a challenge, your right peace sign fingers can grab your right big toe like we did standing. Take your right leg up and kick your inner heel towards the long edge of your mat. Stay strong in your left shoulder. Side plank variation of your choice. And then flip it over, wild thing. Softly stepping the right foot behind you, make sure the left shoulder remains over the left wrist. Push your hips towards where the wall and the ceiling meet, so kind of on a diagonal. And then from here, I want you to start to bend both knees, drop your butt towards the ground, your right knee remains bent. Hug your right shin in towards you. Make sure you have at least 1 fist distance between your right hand and your left foot. Reach both arms up and then fold over your left leg. Stay here or make a bind. Grabbing the left wrist and folding over your left leg. Keep pressing the ball of your right foot down. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Release that bind, plant your left hand behind you. Step your right foot over your left leg, turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat. We're going into a horizon lunge, kind of like a side plank. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot, your right toes are pointing to the long edge of your mat. Push your hips up. And then from here, lower your outer left hip down and bend your knee. You're gonna take a seat on this outer left hip. Bring your weight towards the front of your mat into either Agni Stambhasana or Gomukhasana. You should be facing what is the left side of your mat. Feel free to adjust here so that the right knee is more over the left knee or the right shin is more over the left shin. If you're going Agni Stambhasana, you want your feet flexed. The bottom of the foot lines up with the outer knee. If you're in Gomukhasana, try to get this right hip to go down. Sit up tall wherever you are and breathe. Focus less on the aesthetic of the pose, more on the sensation, making sure you're not clenching your jaw or holding your breath. You've got 3, 2, and 1. So from Gomukhasana, that's kind of where I'm gonna lead from. So if you're in Agni Stambhasana, just kind of widen your feet at least so you can try to get your feet to the ground. We're gonna walk our hands to the left. Begin to lift your hips. We're meeting in a wide leg fold, now facing what is technically the right side of your mat. Let this be relaxing. Feel free to shift side to side. Shake out your head. We'll inhale, lift up halfway. Crawl your hands towards the front of your mat and simply step back to plank. Drop down to your knees and bring the knees together. Feet together, toes are spiked to the mat. Take a seat back on your heels. Move your pinky toes out of the way here. Hands to your thighs. Close your eyes. Hug the ankle bones in. Notice if you're trying to shift your weight in a certain direction that would make the pose more comfortable. Remember that it's temporary. Open your eyes, cactus your arms, take your right arm under your left arm this time. Look near the front left corner of your mat, step your left foot forward. Drive your left heel down, use less of your right foot to come up standing, one leg mountain pose. And then just pause here for a moment. Get your balance, don't rush it. You've still got the eagle arms. Wrap your right leg up and over your left leg. You can put the toes down. I especially like to do that while I'm teaching. Just as I'm talking, it's hard. I find it more challenging to balance. So there's really no shame in putting these right toes down. If that's gonna help you engage more, feel the pose more, then go for it. Drop your elbows towards your top knee. Shift your gaze down. Keep your arms as long as possible. Begin to unravel your legs. You're either eagle diving or standing splits at the front of your mat. The right leg is lifting. You can point or flex. Just try to roll the outer right hip down. Feel a slight twist to the left. Press the ball of your left foot down. 3, 2, hands down, standing splits or handstand hops. I sometimes joke that the reason I got good at handstands was because I really don't like standing splits. So anytime a teacher gave me the option, I was choosing to practice handstand instead. 3, 2, and 1. Cross your right foot behind your left foot. Walk your hands over to the left. Walk your hands back to center. Take a long step back with your right foot. Open up to warrior 2. Take your time setting up your feet. Sink your right hip as much as your left hip. If you look down, can you see your left big toe? Make sure that left knee goes out to the left. Straight legs, reverse triangle. Squeeze your legs. Feel free to shorten your stance. Back through center, Trikonasana. Reach forward, bend down, grab whatever's available. It doesn't need to be the exact same as the other side. Try to find same sensation. Squeeze your legs, reach your hands away from each other. Stay there or extend your top arm. We tend to arch the back as we do that, so just bring extra awareness to the belly and the ribs. Pull those in. Stay there or extra challenge, reach your bottom arm. Try not to turn your chest down. Keep your chest facing the right side of your mat for 3. Squeeze your legs, 2, and 1. Left hand down. We'll sweep this to the back of the mat, Skandasana. Bend your right knee. We're gonna go left peace sign fingers to the big toe or grab your left shin, reach your right arm in the opposite direction. Push your low back in, nudge your right hip a little to the left. Feel the outer seams of the hips draw back, helping to externally rotate your thighs for 3, 2, 1. Wide legs, fold forward. This time let's bind the hands behind the back. If you like to do headstand, you can also go there now. Hug the ankle bones in, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. The arms are going up and over without rounding your spine. So as you breathe in, you always want to think about lifting sternum forward, finding length, and then exhale, folding more depth. Last 2. Release your bind, halfway lift. Crawl hands to the back, right foot, left foot to the left. Come up, high lunge, crescent warrior. Can you bend deeper into your front knee? Lift your hip points, draw your ribs in. Right hand squeeze, right waist. Capture left knee or big toe in front of you. If you're going big toe, we want the legs straight. So again, it's not about what you grab, it's more about standing up tall and squaring your chest. You don't want to open up to the right. Press the ball of your right foot down, flex your left toes with the knee or the big toe, take it to the left. Keep your pelvis as level as possible. You can probably see my pose isn't perfect, and we're always a work in progress. Trying to go in the right direction. Steady your breath, make that your priority. Bring your left leg back to center, reach up, hold 5. Upper thigh squeeze, 4. Low belly squeeze, 3. Reach up with the fingers, 2. And 1. Left foot in front of right foot, fold forward. Option to walk hands left. Maybe this time putting the top of the left foot down, bending your right knee, pushing your right shin into your left calf, since I forgot to do that on the other side. And then we'll put the left foot flat. Walk your hands back to center. So this left foot is in the front, is kind of near the side of your mat. Step your right foot back and drop down to pigeon. The left foot was already near the long edge of the mat. Come down to your forearms if or when you're ready. Make sure those right toes point directly back behind you. They're not turning in or out. Feel this left hip draw back and the right hip push a little bit forward. Mind the sound. We have some landscapers coming by, so if you hear extra noise, that's what that is. Let's walk back up onto our hands. Tuck your right toes. Hug your left knee into your chest. Start to roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Vashisthasana, right side. Either tree pose variation or left peace sign fingers grabbing the left big toe. Think more space between the mat and your right hip. You could also take wild thing here. We will go there in 3. Right shoulder over the wrist, 2. Softly step left foot behind you, wild thing. Look at either hand. Straighten out your right leg. And then look down at the mat, start to bend, lower your seat. That left knee is bending, right leg remains straight. Now you're facing the front of your mat. Make sure you have at least 1 fist distance between your right thigh and your left foot. Plant your left foot flat, inhale, reach, dive inside and fold over your right leg. Option to bind here, don't force it. You can always use a strap or a towel. Think left sitting bone down, fold over your right leg, flex your toes. The more you squeeze your belly, the easier it is to fold. Hug your left knee in towards you, breathe for 3. 2. And 1, sit up, release your bind. Right hand goes behind you, kind of where we came from. Left foot steps on the outside of the right thigh. Turn your left toes towards what is the right side of your mat, the long edge of your mat. Start to roll onto your right hip and lift your hips into this horizon or sunrise lunge shape. You should feel a stretch in the outer hips as you extend your top arm. Now look down, start to bend your bottom knee, your right knee, until the outer right thigh finds the mat. Start to shift your weight towards the front of your mat. We're meeting in Gomukhasana or Agni Stambhasana. You'll likely have to adjust your knees or your hips. If you're in Agni Stambhasana, make sure you keep flexing your feet. And if you're in Gomukhasana, try to get this left sitting bone to go down. Sit up tall and breathe. 3, 2, and 1. If you're in Agni Stambhasana, try to get the feet to go wider so they can get on the ground in some capacity. Walk your hands over to the right, start to lift your hips. Meet in a wide leg forward fold, facing what's technically the left side of your mat. Let this be relaxing. You might even like to walk the hands forward and then kind of sink your weight backwards to get a nice stretch on the shoulders. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. Let's go ahead and step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Feet can be hip distance. Bend your knees and drop down towards like a toe stand. So butt towards your heels, hands to your heart. Sit up tall. Hands or no hands, drop your butt back. Reach your arms forward, Navasana. Legs straight or knees bent. Straighten your spine, lift your sternum. Squeeze your inner thighs. Hold here, breathe. 3, 2, 1. Legs go down, hands behind you, Purvottanasana, reverse plank, or reverse table if that's too much. Your fingers are forward, lift your hips. Try not to let the thighs spiral outwards, point your toes and roll your inner thighs down. Still feel some space across your shoulder blades. That'll feel better as you drop your head back for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your seat down, lie all the way down onto your back and hug your knees in. Rock gently side to side. Plant your feet flat. We'll just do 2 more back bends here. Could be bridge and upward bow or 2 of the same, whatever you like. Drive your heels down, lift your hips, bridge. Toes are pointing forward. The toes are light. Heels, balls of the feet doing most of the work. Lift the back of your heart away from the ground, but let the ribs soften down. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips down, take a breath. Number 2, last one. Bridge or upward facing bow. Keep the toes forward, lift your hips up. Maybe the torso up. So if you're in upward bow, you still want some space between the shoulder blades. Protracting the shoulder, so press the inner palm down. Press down with the ball of your foot. Feel the inner thighs squeeze towards each other a bit. Knees pushing forward, chest pushing backwards. Relax your neck. Tuck your chin, lower yourself down, hug your knees into your chest. Grab the backs of your legs, rock up and down your spine 2 or 3 times. We'll meet in a seated fold, 2 straight legs. You could even take the feet a little bit wider to make this more restorative. Wiggle your butt bones back and fold forward. Every inhale, feel a little more length, like the sternum goes forward. Every exhale, the shoulders draw back and you fold. Less rounding in your spine. Begin to walk your hands back towards you, lie all the way down onto your back, and just hug your knees into your chest. Keep the right leg in, extend your left leg long. We're finishing with the supine twist, and then of course, if there's anything else you like to do, guide your right knee across your body to the left. Option to bend the left knee, reach your right hand for your inner left foot for a left quad stretch. If you like a different sort of supine twist, please feel free to go for it. If you've got your right foot, let that go. Come back through center, hug both knees in. Keep your left leg in, extend your right leg long. Draw your left knee over to the right. Option for the left hand to reach down, grab your inner right foot, looking off to the left. If you're going for that extra quad stretch, think about pushing the knee forwards and the outer knee down. If you've got the foot, let that go. Unwind onto your back and hug both knees in. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. When you're ready, extend your legs, let your toes flop out. Like I said, if there's any final poses that you'd like to finish up your practice, please go for it. When you're ready, you can meet us in Savasana. Toes flopped out, relax your palms, soften all the muscles in your face. Maybe something over the eyes to limit or minimize distractions. Let your breath slow and return to a natural, comfortable rhythm. And just allow yourself to be. You don't have to be a certain way. You never have to show up to your mat a certain way. You just have to come as you are. Whatever's present here, no judgment, just acknowledgement, noticing. Savasana. Make your next breath a little deeper. Complete exhale. Stretch your arms, extend your legs. Hug your knees in. Take a moment of gratitude for your body, for moving, breathing, having your health, and commitment and discipline to your practice, for the practice itself, for just allowing you to show up as you are. Roll to your right or left side and then come up to a comfortable seated position. Draw your hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. Namaste. Thank you for choosing to practice with me. I so appreciate you tuning into my classes. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share it with your family and friends. If you're interested in coming on a retreat with me, I have a women's retreat in Sedona, Arizona. It is the first weekend of May 2025, or a week-long Costa Rica retreat in July. And that is open to anyone. So if you're interested in either of those, check out my website below. Feel free to email me with any questions or if you want pricing info. If you're interested in donating to support my channel, the information is in the caption below as well. Donations are never required, but always appreciated. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and Happy New Year if you're watching this in the beginning of 2025.